Wow, isn't that cool? I ain't got time to think about money, and I ain't got time to think about, what the world is doing. It's all about what I can do with you, or what I can do with family. On the break we were talking about, you're saying, why don't we talk about some of the camping trips I went on? And I said to you, but I don't want to talk about having to drive someplace. And you said, well, what about the camping we did on the back patio, on the deck? We sat at the tents on the deck, and I told scary stories, and the stories were just as scary on the deck as it would have been in the woods. Remember that?
Yep.
Remember the kids were all sitting, you guys are sitting in 3 chairs, and Elizabeth and CJ on each side of you, and by the time I got through telling the scary story, Elizabeth and CJ were sitting in your lap, remember?
Yeah, I remember
just
that.
going, we're going to die. Was that really true, Dad? Did that really happen?
You had me going.
Yeah, I can tell some good stories. So it's all about, what would it be like to not have to move off your property, and you have just as much fun not leaving your property as much fun as you do leaving your property, Now, granted, I know kids are designed to grow away from you every day, and that's okay, and you can give them the room to be on their own and everything else, but you don't have to drive your car someplace. You understand? Just like you don't have to take paper sacks. You don't have to take plastic bags. You can get a canvas bag, put all your groceries in a canvas bag.
Yep.
You understand? That's what you've been training me to do. All right? You don't have to go and, you could get a push mower again and exercise while you do your lawn. There's all kinds of things. I said you could. I didn't say I would. God, don't tell them that.
Okay.
Okay, now, so what I'm going to talk to you about now is how to grow in appreciating the meaning of family. Now, look, if you could get locked into a better, more powerful, more communicative, more fun family time together, there'd be a lot less need for going out and using gasoline to go someplace, and a lot less need, to be able to have to drive someplace. You could walk to someplace as a family. You could hike. You could ride bicycles. There's all kinds of things that you could do. And it's just not done. It's done by a small group of people here in Santa Barbara, and thank God there's enough of them to at least have bike lanes.
You really have to plan. We're so used to getting in our car and
getting in the car, getting your stuff in there, putting the dog kennel in there, and going someplace. Then you get out of the car, you take your stuff, you go to the beach. You ever seen the news where these people come and they have this giant armload of stuff they take to the beach so they can cover it from the sun?
Yep.
If you want to cover up from the sun, why do you go to the beach? Why don't you stay in your house and just do what you're going to do in the house?
You can't feel the sand between your toes.
So going to the beach is looking at other people thing.
Well, that, and the kids can build sand castles. And
what we could do is
we're not going there right now.
We could send one person to the beach and they could film it and bring the film home. Does that work? Not the same, is it?
Not quite the same.
Okay, all right.
Another segment.
Another segment, yeah. Okay, so the main thought here is having fun with family and not having to drive anywhere, okay? So to grow an appreciation on the meaning of family, number one, you got to get grounded in what is it that you love about your family, and why do you want to spend time together? So go ahead. This is your segment here. You get to tell people why you love spending time with me. Go. Okay, I'll take over now. Almost got her up. People are going to phone in on that one.
Well, no, we that's where we get stuff around the house done.
Yeah.
When we plant flowers, when you decide what we're going to plant, especially in the springtime.
Yep.
We get the flowers planted and decide what we're going to.
Hey, tell me something. Are we old just because like 3 weekends ago we planted about 250 bulbs that are going to grow 250 beautiful flowers all over the front yard? Is that just what old people do?
No.
I mean, young people plant
no.
young people plant flowers and stuff like that. You understand?
Yes.
So it's not about how old you are. It's about how much fun you want to have and not spend any money. Not be absorbed by what's going on with the gas prices everywhere, what oil is doing, or anything else. All right. So, what are some of the trips that we've been on where it was just family time, where we just had a blast? And it's always been usually, that I can remember, the majority of them have been sitting around a campfire someplace where it was safe, all right, and just talking and being together. And, of course, the s'mores.
Of course.
We got to have the s'mores.
That's right.
But some of the best talks our family have ever had is sitting around a campfire. And we've been with some people that we had, they had out on the deck by a river, which was where their home was. They had what they call a fire pit, a fire ring.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
And you just sit around the fire and just talk, and somebody always takes on keeping the fire going, and you just talk about
It's like
stuff,
camping in your
listen to
backyard.
stuff, and everybody has a stick, they can adjust the fire any way they want to, and then everybody has a stick for the marshmallows, and then you break out the s'mores, all right? And we've been to a lot of groups like that where there's no drinking going on, there's no swearing going on, there's just people having a good time talking about great life and getting OD'd on sugar. Pretty good, huh? I think it's a good idea.
Of course.
Yeah, so that's one thing you can do, all right? And you don't necessarily have to have a fire pit in your backyard. And if you want to have a fire, they have these portable fire pits, portable fire things. You have little tiny fires in, but you got to be really careful here in Santa Barbara, okay?
But a lot of people have barbecues. So
Yeah.
that, that would
Oh,
be,
yeah, you could do it in a barbecue, couldn't you?
Yeah,
Oh, duh. See? And we already have the barbecue. We don't have to drive anywhere to get one.
that's right.
See?
That's right.
All right, we're so smart.
We just have to drive to get the steak. And we could probably ride our bikes to the store to get the steaks.
We could.
to put on the grill.
Or in our case, it wouldn't be too outrageous to walk, could it? Okay, never mind. Anyway, you're looking at me like, shh, don't tell them that.
Well, I wouldn't mind walking to the store, but it would just take me a couple hours.
Okay, that's fine. But we've done that before. We've gone out for walks, when we go up into the mountains and go through the walking trails around
Yeah.
here. And by the way, Santa Barbara's got some phenomenal walking trails. You just have to remember to bring water, okay? And some places have, if you have a bad reaction to poison oak, you could get
Bad reaction.
a
to
bad
poison
reaction
oak.
to poison oak, which isn't much fun, but it's pretty cool. And you can also take your dog with you and go for a walk and all that. That's pretty fun, as long as you got good shoes and stuff. Okay, so number one, all right, you have to get grounded in what it is you love about your family. Most people are going so fast they forgot about the love of family. They only remember the love of family when somebody's really ill or they pass away. What would it be like to have the love of family come back just because you don't want to burn up any more energy, all right, or natural resources or fossil fuel?
Yeah, but
What?
there's a song by Billy Ray Cyrus.
By
that-
Billy Ray Cyrus?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's called Busy Man.
Yeah.
And it's all about, the first part of the song is talking about how he's busy at work and he can't have time with his wife and he can't have time with his kids. And
Yeah.
it's like, it makes you want to cry. And then
Yeah.
at the end he goes, he's not accepting the work that his business wants to send him on. And he says, I've never seen a headstone that had, I missed too much time at work.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I feel bad about missing too much time at work.
Yeah.
I know, that's right on. So Billy Ray Cyrus, huh? Okay. All right, now, so the next point, number two, is that if you're going to get together with your family and, you expected that it will be miserable, then it will be miserable. You ever thought about that? Oh, man, my grandma's coming over. It's going to be a drag. We're going to hear the same stories. So when she comes over, you start hearing the same stories. You can either sit there and be depressed, or you can go, Mom, and she'll go, what? She says, we've heard that story before. Do you have some more? Because I really want to hear a new one.
That's a good
It
point.
really lights them
Yeah.
up, because they know that, that you care, that
And
you're listening. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, whatever you believe life is going to be, it will be. So if you think it's going to be a bummer and miserable, it will be. If you think it's going to be happy and positive and creative, it will be. So it's all about what Susan and I have talked about for years, is you have a choice in life. You can either complain about life or you can create one that works. If we are the only person that has a say in how our lives turns out, wouldn't it be cool if we took the time to have the say? And if you don't like what you're doing, create it a different way. I mean, duh. Give me a break. And if you're the leader of the family, you're the alpha male, the alpha female, wouldn't that be a good thing to teach everybody else? Is that they could have a say in how the family party goes. All right? Unless, of course, somebody drinks the last beer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We have to go on a break now. I'm going to be back in just a few minutes. So you're listening to the Clay Nelson Life Balance Hour with the illustrious Susan Nelson as the sidekick. Get on back here on KZSB AM 1290. I'll talk to you in a minute.